How I support attorneys and keep clients calm during probate chaos. Probate is rarely simple. On paper, it might look like a legal process of transferring property, settling debts, and distributing assets. But in real life, probate is filled with emotions, delays, family tension, and constant questions. Attorneys know this better than anyone. You are not only expected to be the legal expert, but also the calm voice in the storm. Families lean on you for guidance. Heirs want quick answers. And executors often ask questions that have nothing to do with law. On top of that, the property side of the case can quickly get messy. Locked doors, overdue utility bills, property insurance lapses, and uncooperative heirs all add stress to your already full desk. That is where I step in. I am not here to impress anyone with flashy sales tactics or to complicate what is already complicated. My role is simple. I protect your time, support your client, and handle every part of the property process so you can focus on the legal work. While emotions rise and questions pour in, I step into the room as a steady hand, a clear communicator, and a problem solver. Here is exactly how I keep your file moving forward and your clients calm during probate chaos. I calm the room before it gets loud. Probate often starts quietly, but emotions can build fast. Family members disagree about price. Heirs question why things are taking so long. Executors feel overwhelmed and start calling their attorney for answers that are outside of your legal scope. Before long, all the frustration lands on your shoulders. I have seen this happen countless times. That is why my first priority is to calm the room before it even gets loud. From the beginning, I explain what is happening, what the next steps are, and what each person's role will be, in plain, simple language. Instead of leaving heirs confused, I show them a clear timeline of how the property will be handled. Instead of letting small disagreements turn into shouting matches, I clarify the process so everyone feels included and respected. By taking time to explain and set expectations, I remove the drama before it ever reaches you. I take the property off the attorney's desk. Here is the truth. You should not be dealing with property tasks at all. Yet, in probate, they almost always end up on your plate. Who will meet the cleanout crew? Who will handle showings? Who is dealing with neighbors? Or a buyer's questions about the property? If no one else steps up, the attorney gets dragged into it. That wastes your time and puts you in the middle of logistics that are not part of your role. When I am on the case, all of that comes to me. If it involves a lock, a key, a showing, a yard, or a vendor, I handle it. You should never be copied on emails about insurance binders or junk removal bids. I make sure your client never feels abandoned, but you never get pulled into tasks that are not legal work. This frees you to focus only on what you do best, protecting the estate legally and keeping the process compliant. I give the executor a clear game plan. Executors are often new to the process. They may have never handled a probate case before, and they do not know where the attorney's job ends and where someone else's begins. So they call you for everything. How do we change utilities? How do we insure a vacant house? When should we get photos? Who do we hire for a clean-out? These are not legal questions, but without guidance, the executor sends them to you anyway. That is where I step in. From the very beginning, I walk the executor through the full real estate process. I explain each step, what needs to be done, and how it fits into the timeline. Instead of reacting to every question, I provide a structure they can follow. I do not just answer one-off calls, I create clarity. Executors gain confidence, families feel supported, and you stop getting interrupted with tasks that were never yours in the first place. I diffuse problems before they escalate. Probate can feel like a minefield. Sometimes an heir is difficult. Sometimes a buyer is shaky. Sometimes a timeline is in danger of slipping. If no one is watching closely, these small issues can become big problems that explode in your lap. I make sure that never happens. When I see red flags, I raise them early. If an heir is pushing for unrealistic pricing, I prepare data to show real market conditions. If a buyer seems unstable, I check financing strength before we waste time. If a timeline looks like it might stall, I address it before deadlines are missed. Most importantly, I keep you informed without overwhelming you. You will know what is happening, what could come next, and how I am already handling it. That way, you are never blindsided and never dragged into a crisis that should not be yours. I support your reputation, not just the sale. Probate is not only about getting a property sold, it is also about how the family feels during the process. Were they respected? Were their questions answered? Did they feel cared for? Here is the key. When the client feels supported, they credit that experience to you, the attorney. That is why I see my role as protecting your reputation, not just closing a deal. When I keep the executor calm, answer heir questions, and manage the property smoothly, the client feels that everything was handled well. And when they tell their friends or write reviews later, they talk about how confident and supported they felt working with you. My job is not just about selling the property. It is about making the entire probate experience smoother, calmer, and easier, which reflects positively on you and your practice. Probate is already heavy. Families are grieving. Executors are overwhelmed. Attorneys are balancing strict legal work with constant calls from confused clients. Without the right support, the entire process can feel like chaos. That is why my role is so important. When I am on the file, I calm the room, take property tasks off your desk, guide the executor, diffuse red flags, and keep the family steady. You stay focused on the legal work. The property moves forward without drama, and the client feels fully supported. If you have a file right now that feels off track, I am ready to step in and steady the property side so you can get back to practicing law. At 833probate.com, we specialize in guiding probate property sales the right way. If you want to protect your time, reduce stress for your clients, and ensure every file moves forward smoothly, visit 833probate.com today. Let us handle the property side so you can focus on the law. How can a probate real estate specialist help attorneys? A probate real estate specialist takes over the property side of the case. This includes managing access, coordinating vendors, preparing the home for sale, and communicating with heirs and executors. By doing this, the attorney can focus only on the legal work without being distracted by property-related tasks. Why do probate cases become chaotic for attorneys? Probate cases often involve grieving families, overwhelmed executors, and heirs who may not understand the process. When emotions rise, attorneys end up fielding calls about issues that are not legal, such as property cleanouts or insurance. Without support, this creates unnecessary stress and delays. How does supporting the executor make the attorney's job easier? When the executor is given a clear game plan and structure, they stop calling their attorney for every small detail. This saves the attorney time, keeps the client confident, and ensures the property side of probate runs smoothly. What happens if a probate property issue is ignored? If property issues are not managed, they can create bigger problems, like insurance lapses, property damage, or family disputes. These eventually stall the case and put more pressure on the attorney. Addressing them early prevents delays and protects the estate's value. How does this service improve the client's experience? When families feel supported and informed throughout probate, they associate that positive experience with their attorney. This builds trust, protects the attorney's reputation, and helps the entire case close smoothly, without conflict. Every estate sale deserves a smooth professional process. Simply scan the QR code to get started, or contact us today at 833-PROBATE. That's 833-776-2243. Visit 833probate.com or email info@833probate.com. 833probate, the right system to keep your estate sale moving forward.